My name is Marilyn Johnson. The current event I'm doing is on the number of homeless students rise to new high. This is a report done by Zafari. It was February 3rd, 2020. This is pretty much the article was stating that some children have lost stable homes due to their parents' opioid addiction, or they had to force to stay in hotels or other shelters or abandoned buildings or cars due to the fact of hurricanes, fires, or other natural disasters. Just more than 1.5 million public students nationwide just said that they were homeless at some point in time during the 2017-2018 school year. This was an increase of number of students that reported that they were homeless in the last decade. UNC Greensboro did a study, and it showed that it affected not only their academic performance but also their health due to mental health and physical health due to the stress and the inability to maintain health standards as they need to because they don't have a home. In 2019, UNC Greensboro issued a report stating that housing affordability crisis sweeps the nation and homelessness continues to rise. That was pretty much stating that due to the fact that being able to afford housing is not really available for people who are in poverty or have low income, who can't really meet that threshold, and especially for those who aren't able to get welfare programs and get into the assistance and things like that they need. So it's even harder for them to be able to even get in a home. And that's just and then 137% increase, which is more than 102,000 number of students who were homeless. And that number was just those who reported that they were living in abandoned buildings and cars. That's not including the ones who were in shelters or in a hotel, or living with other family members because they no longer have a home of their own. And then another thing with that is it needs to be something that needs to be addressed. Children, adolescents, they don't need to be worrying about where they live, when are they going to get their next meal, whether or not their parents are going to be able to afford to take care of them, or if they have younger siblings, who's going to take care of them, who's going to watch out for them, worry about starving and dying on the streets, or even not being able to make it to graduate. That's something a child or an adolescent teenager shouldn't have to worry about. And with that, students don't really like to report much of the school officials. They don't really want people knowing about it. They're embarrassed about it. So these numbers aren't even probably won't even be 100% accurate, because there are a lot of students who don't even report this, that don't even are scared to, because they don't want to be looked at as weak or lesser beings. It's just a human nature thing that we have as individuals. And like I said before, it's more than 1.5 million school students nationwide that are homeless at some point or another through a school year. I personally believe to prevent this, what needs to be done is ensuring that housing is available to individuals, and that those who are in the shelter are properly given the steps and procedures needed to get them back into a home, especially if they have children and families, and especially with teenagers who are on their own, who are trying to go to school in high school, who don't have a family. Those individuals, there should be a program implemented for those, so that way they could actually be able to get through high school and have somewhere to sleep and have a roof over their head and food on their table. The whole focus of this article and this current event was to point out that students who are homeless in high school, or even middle school or elementary school, it varies. It doesn't have to be just high school students. That they don't need to be thinking about where they're going to be sleep at, or where their next meal is going to come from, when they're going to get their next bath. That's something children don't need to worry about in general. And all they should be worried about is making friends, maybe the next video game that comes out, or just their education in general, making something of themselves. And I felt this article really stresses that, and as social workers, we need to look at it and figure out ways we can change policies that would affect and benefit these children and adolescents who are homeless.